Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Jordan Spurgeon. Thank you for joining us. Governor Doug Ducey issued an executive order to support job creators throughout our state as employment opportunities grow and the COVID-19 vaccine is widely available. This order rescinds a 2020 executive order that waived the requirement that an individual must be actively looking for work in order to receive the benefits. Lee McFeeters with the Economic Outlook Center at Arizona State University says the reinstatement of this requirement will encourage people to apply for new positions.
Typically, Arizona pays, about $245 maximum per week for unemployment. Now we are paying over $500 per week. And that completely changes the game for lower paid workers that are paid in the range of $12 to $13. Those workers can now make that same amount of money and stay home. And so there's just a large part of the labor force, I think, that is still content to sit on the sidelines. And, that's the problem that can only be addressed, I think, by putting some pressure on wages and having employers show a bit of innovation at ways to induce people back to the job.
Today is National Nurses Day, a time for us to show our appreciation for the more than 5 million nurses across the country that are working relentlessly during this pandemic. Here in Arizona, we have seen a recent spike in COVID-19 cases, and once again, our nurses and doctors are on the front lines fighting the virus. Regina Villa, a nurse with Valleywise Health, says it has been one of the most challenging years of her career.
It's been very challenging on healthcare in general. A lot of it has fallen on nurses. They really are there the whole time, working with the whole team. They're not alone. They're not successful because of themselves. It's because of a whole team that can create such a successful party for everybody. But it's been quite challenging and tiring, and nurses are getting burnt out. So encouragement really helps.
The commission that will redraw Arizona's political district lines later this year has chosen a company to crunch census data and create maps on a split vote. The Arizona Independent Redistricting Commission chose a Virginia-based engineering company as its mapping consultant. The two Democrats on the redistricting panel opposed the choice, marking the second time it was a split decision between parties. Today is May 5th, also known as Cinco De Mayo, and local restaurants around the valley are celebrating. I went to Get Yo Taco in Chandler this morning to see what they have planned all day. Hint, there's a beer garden, music, and plenty of their famous tacos.
We have a Cinco de Chandler event on Cinco de Mayo. We have homemade tacos. We have a whole patio and parking lot. We've got face painting, piñata making, anything for the family. Bring your friends, pals. We've got a lot going on, and really just celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
Their dream is to be journalists who report the truth. They are still children, and they have already started accomplishing their dream. Cronkite News reporter Samantha Bird speaks with children of El Taller del Fua about this workshop.
Y me dolería mucho si algún día no regresan a la casa.
Edwin Calzada is 14 years old and has been a part of El Taller de Fua for over 3 years now.
We have newspapers, we have our own social medias, we have the radio.
Porque siempre estás con el miedo de que te los quiten.
El Taller de Fua is a Spanish children's journalism program based in Phoenix.
It's grown definitely a lot over the years, and I feel like we've gotten more opportunities as more people recognize us for our work and what we're for.
Children from the ages of 4 to 15 years old learn how to be journalists from a young age. They produce a live radio show once a week.
Listen to us every Saturday at noon on 1190 AM or 107.5 FM.
Con frío y todo, nos venimos a grabar algo muy
The director of the program, Mariela Gomez, has been working in journalism almost her whole life. Gomez created the group.
When you let the children talk, you get very, very surprised about the opinions and the topics that they are interested in.
The children report like correspondents from wherever they are located in the world. There are 22 children based in Phoenix, 1 in Tucson, 2 in Honduras, 4 in Nicaragua, and 3 in Mexico.
Different topics that we have talked about have been about COVID-19, immigration, good nutrition, California fires, back to school, the dangerous things that could happen on social media, and many other important things.
The children interview a different specialist for the topic they are talking about on the radio show each week.
We have the person that's answering our questions join us for the station for the questions so that we all do it on live and everybody hears us over the radio. So it's a live program.
The group was invited to open a festival in Monesil, Spain on June 4th, presenting their short film documentary on unaccompanied migrant children at the border, as well as personal stories and experiences.
And we've also talked about our fears, which is something that we like talking about, and it's a serious topic for us because some of us have immigrant parents that left their family behind to try to give us a better future.
Y luego vienen unos autobuses y se los llevan, entonces los niños ya nunca vuelven a ver sus papás.
The goal of the program is to guide the children to follow their dreams.
I'm still kind of too young to know what I'm going to do when I'm older, but what I might do is probably still continue to be a reporter.
Ellos no son culpables de nada.
And now a look back at some of our top stories, including efforts to diversify women's golf and drag boat races here in Arizona.
Cesar Chavez is a role model here in Arizona, and to the Coyotes is no exception. Cronkite News reporter Zach Moore went out to witness the team's community outreach in the name of the civil rights icon.
The Coyote Pack was in full effect at St. Mary's Food Bank as familiar faces like Shane Doan, Javier Gutierrez, and the Coyote staff made every effort to help out their community while passing on the legacy of one iconic Arizona native, Cesar Chavez.
And I think that's just a testament to him and the type of man that he was, and it's so cool that there's a day completely dedicated to this and that we get to honor that.
He really is an American icon, and I'm very honored that on this day we honor him by doing what he was about, which is being a man for others and being in service for others.
With over 50 years of serving their community here in Phoenix, it meant everything for the St. Mary's Food Bank to continue to see the Coyotes make a difference.
As much as they mean to us on the ice and in the sporting world and the wins that the Coyotes put up for the city, they're always putting up wins also in the community and the way that they can help and give back. And this isn't the first time we've seen the Coyotes here, and it certainly won't be the last.
Under the new leadership of Alex Morello and Javier Gutierrez, the Coyotes continue to put an emphasis on the Hispanic heritage here in Arizona and for all Coyotes fans across the country.
We want to open our doors. We want to extend our hand to communities that haven't necessarily felt connected to this organization. Say, you are part of our pack.
On a day of giving back to the community, it created a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to make a difference.
I can enjoy and be thankful and grateful for the opportunities I've been given.
In Chandler, Zach Moore, Cronkite News.
It's Masters weekend at Augusta, and the tournament features Sun Devil alums Paul Casey, Phil Mickelson, and John Rahm, among others. Those golfers and more have inspired the younger generation every day. And Cronkite News reporter Zach Moore met up with Valley area golfers that are leading the charge and changing how the game looks.
There are several student athletes here in the Valley breaking the barriers of long-held stereotypes within the sport of golf. For them, it's about the love of the game and about building that community of inclusivity.
And I think that's how we're going to get parents to start teaching their kids and telling them about the game of golf and telling them that, you can play this sport too. It's not just these people can play. You can play it too if you want to. So I think that's really important.
You can meet so many people on the golf course. Make so many connections. I think golf is more than what people make it in society today.
According to golf.com, only 5% of the sport of golf is comprised of African Americans. LPGA athletes like Maria Stackhouse and Cheyenne Woods continue to set an example for what the next generation hopes to accomplish moving forward.
It's exactly what we're doing right now that I think is going to increase diversity in the game of golf. And I really think that's a really cool thing that can happen.
Xavier Prep's sister Lynn Windsor has been in the Valley for nearly 50 years. As the athletic director for the all-girls school, she is most interested in making sure her athletes develop a strong character.
It doesn't matter who you are when you play golf. If you want to go out, you want to play well, you want to learn, you want to be a good teammate, sportsmanship, get self-confidence, integrity, that's what it's all about.
As the landscape in golf continues to change, these local athletes are hoping to lead the way and inspire others to join the push for diversity in the sport. In Chandler, Zach Moore, Cronkite News.
While Major League Baseball makes its return, Cronkite News reporter Andre Beltran explains how 2 local players continue to chase their big league dreams.
In the spring of 2020, Tyler Wilson and Michael Bruiser were projected to go in the early to middle rounds of the MLB draft. But after COVID cut their senior season short, their draft dreams were quickly dashed.
Like, a lot of guys were depending on a real good senior year to get noticed.
Luckily, Tyler and Michael had college ball to fall back on, and they both decided to stay close to home. Wilson is currently the starting catcher and DH at GCU.
I want to be able to stay close to my family because, I want them to see me play.
This twist of fate worked out for GCU recruiting coordinator Greg Wallace, who started recruiting Wilson during his sophomore year.
The only thing the pandemic did when it cut the season down was he didn't really have an opportunity to be seen by too many professional scouts.
Like Wilson, Bruiser also wanted to stay local for college ball, so he landed at ASU.
Just grew up an ASU fan. I went to games at Packard all the time. Both my parents went to ASU, and, Coach Smith and all the other coaches were great to me, so ASU was a no-doubter in my mind.
If all goes according to plan, GCU is scheduled to face ASU this season in late April. It will not only be a crosstown rivalry, but a matchup between Wilson and former Hamilton Husky teammate Bruiser.
It's going to be real fun, I think I played with him since I was 14 years old, so 8th grade.
That's going to be awesome. Just, seeing my close friends, my close teammates doing well at a high level.
With the decline of COVID, Bruiser and Wilson will finally take the field together again, but this time in different dugouts. For Cronkite Sports, I'm Andre Beltran.
In Buckeye, Hidden Lake is becoming a popular destination for boat racing enthusiasts. Cronkite News reporter Zachary Larson shows us how one sport is making it their new home.
Just south of downtown Buckeye, you'll find a peaceful and quiet lake hidden within the desert scenery, but not on race day.
The weather, the people, the openness, the high desert here is just beautiful. And yes, you can see the track's just phenomenal.
Hidden Lake is now home to the Arizona Drag Boat Association after being repurposed to house over 100 boat teams during a weekend event. Sisters Tara and Tanya Scribner know the amount of preparation each race takes.
There's a lot to it. Each boat kind of has a little bit more than the next, but you prepare, a few weeks ahead of time, months maybe,
Although anyone can participate, safety is a priority with 10 different classes of boats, including some reaching up to 185 miles per hour.
You just get an adrenaline rush from it, just going down the track.
And there's been some nasty incidents, but safety's come so far. We don't see those very often anymore.
Although the drivers are fierce competitors on the water, it's a family-like atmosphere here at Hidden Lake, where you'll see various games and activities like cornhole.
It's a great family thing. It's real competitive, but when the racetrack gets shut down, they're all friends again.
Not only is it about family, the Scribner sisters are also hoping to inspire other girls.
I like seeing little girls coming up to me and saying that they want to race now because they see that I do it and my sister does it.
With the pandemic wreaking havoc on the race schedule, Hidden Lake looks to be the premier track on the circuit for a long time. In Buckeye, Zachary Larson, Cronkite News.
While those prospects make a push to the pros, the next generation of professional bull riders competed in Arizona last week. The Southern Arizona Junior Bull Riders Association event was held in Tucson, and many kids took part. Cronkite News reporter Autumn Thompson takes us out of the chute and onto the dirt.
All right, for our steer riders.
Kids as young as 7 are learning the ropes at the rodeo, from riding sheep to 12-year-olds riding Pee-wee bulls. At the Southern Junior Bull Riders Association, kids ranging from 5 to 19 years old are the main attraction in the rodeo.
It could get really scary, and that's what's really cool about this too, is that these kids are overcoming their fears.
Overcoming their fears is right. Young cowboy Cole Keith has won state finals in sheep riding and is now moving up to calf riding at just 7 years old.
Won this one by riding lots of sheep and winning lots of times.
For many parents, it can get a little scary having their children do such an extreme sport.
As a parent, you feel nervous. That's why we have mouth guards, we have helmets, we have protection. He wears protection underneath his clothing. We make sure that he's protected.
But the sport is more than just competing. It teaches many of the kids to socialize with each other.
Also gets them out there talking to people and socializing, especially when you get older and you get in the workforce and other stuff like that. You got to talk to people and you got to work with people.
These budding cowboys are learning to take hard knocks, but in the end, they're also learning the joys of victory. In Tucson, Autumn Thompson, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for Break It Down. That's next. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.